I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang! What's up, guys? Surprise, surprise. It's your boy Eru, the Knicks podcast. Yeah, man. Live podcast today, kind of a shotgun-ish kind of podcast. I decided to do this on the drive home. Man, New York City's weather's been bad the last couple of days, man. It was raining really bad yesterday, so bad that they canceled all the work that we had. Today we actually went out there and worked, but they canceled it halfway through the day. So it's just one of those days where it's raining and you can't really get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? So, outside of that, it's been pretty good for myself as far as my work day and stuff. But NYC, man, driving, a lot of blind spots. I got hit yesterday. Yesterday, somebody hit me on my blind spot. I'm just driving regular, and the guy fell asleep at the wheel because it's just one of those type of days. Today, like I said, I was saying on Twitter today that I was literally like 40 minutes late today for work because I have no idea. I was literally literally like 5 minutes away. Of course, there's traffic there, so you adjust for that. But I was literally like driving wise, even though it was traffic and stuff like that, normal traffic, I would have been there. Work. I would have been to work maybe 5 minutes or either just on time. You know what I'm saying? But we just went to a standstill, man. And next thing you know, I'm there and I end up being 40 minutes late for possibly being 5 minutes early to just getting there on time to being 40 minutes late is ridiculous, man. So I mean, just like a commute for 90-minute commute in total today, because it would have been it was a total 90 minutes. 90 minutes, I could have went to Connecticut. I could have went to Connecticut and been early. You know what I'm saying? Just to do the contrast with that, man. So, it's nothing like living in New York City, driving. I love to drive. New York City is not a driving town. You know what I'm saying? It's really just for mass transit. But mass transit is getting crazy too, man. So I really don't know what's going on with New York City. We got migrants and stuff like that. A lot of things to deal with, but that's what New York City is all about, man. But speaking of which, man, I'm going to talk about the current Knicks today. But before we get there, I want to talk about the history of the Knicks because a lot of people make comments on Twitter, especially. I'm always focusing on Twitter because that's where everybody goes to. Not everybody, because there's quite a few people that don't mess with Twitter because they just don't want to be involved in none of that stuff. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it could pull you in and it makes you say things and just makes you crazy, for no apparent reason, just based on the personality that you come across on Twitter and stuff. The instant fuck you, you know what I'm saying, that you can't really retaliate to. And then why would you want to retaliate? So it's just a goofy place, not just Twitter, but just social media in general. So I get it. A lot of people don't like to mess with the app and stuff, but for the majority of Knicks fans out there, thousands upon millions of Knicks fans, we all congregate to social media, Twitter in particular, and it's just a drag. A lot of things that you see. There's a lot of podcasts out there. Shout out to this is a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on a low budget, putting stuff out there. This is a podcast. These studio podcasts, those are not podcasts. Those are studio shows that they're calling podcasts because they're trying to kill us. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. One person, like I said, I don't want to talk too badly about too many people, man. But some people, it goes without saying, they're just like pure like pure assholes, man. And this one person that I'm thinking about here, uh, make sure I get the right person here. Yeah, this person that I'm thinking about here, that you'll see in a second, you'll instantly know who he is and what he's all about. So I'll share this on the screen right here. And as you can see there, who is that? That's Paul Pierce. You want to talk about the king asshole of just to counter New York City? It's Paul Pierce. You want to talk about California dude, somebody that's just pompous and stuff like that. There's a lot of news coming out recently about his issue, his his incident. I'm trying to say incident where he got stabbed and almost died. Man, he almost died being an asshole. But as you can see now in his older age, after he retired, he still has that in him. So some people just have it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Knicks, he always has something to say about us, and I really don't understand where it comes from. But let me see if I can play this for you guys. So this is what he had to say on the podcast that he has with Kevin Garnett.
The Knicks is like an Instagram model.
Here you go.
I'll be on
Disrespectful,
Instagram
man.
and I'll be
Stop.
like, damn, she fine. Then you catch them in person, you like, this you? There's too many filters.
It's two different things. It's reality versus digital. So what am I watching on TV then, P?
The Instagram model. They got that Fashion
You
Nova
ain't-
on.
I ain't no Knicks fan or none of that. I'm just calling how I see it. The Knicks, I'm seeing what the wave is, bro. They want the Knicks and Celtics, bro.
The Knicks is
Just
like
just a couple
Instagram
things
model.
with this, man. I don't know if you guys heard it. I hope you guys did hear it. But he just say he compared the Knicks to an Instagram model, which is ridiculous. I don't even understand how that connects, the Knicks to an Instagram model. And then he makes that comparison. I just don't understand it. He said you see one way is this way on the computer, you see them in person is different. I just don't understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? Because if you watch the Knicks on TV or whatever, it's different than if you watch them in live. I just don't understand what he's talking about there. The perception, maybe he's talking about the perception of the Knicks and then compared to what's really happening. The perception of the Knicks is that the Knicks are trash. Nationwide, people still Knicks are trash right on the tip of everybody's tongues. You know what I'm saying? But we still continuously to win, even though we're riddled with injuries and stuff. So Paul Pierce is a straight asshole piece of shit, man. I hate to call people that, especially I don't know him personally, but just everything that all the boxes check off from his history, just from the stuff that he says, how he looks and everything, man. He just has bad vibes all around. One thing I'm going to point out in the video that Kevin Garnett also said that they want to see. So who is they? Who is they want to see? Apparently nobody wants to see the Knicks. The Knicks are not relevant. Knicks hate people outside of New York City hate Madison Square Garden. They hate New York. They hate everything about us. You know what I'm saying? They want to make us irrelevant so bad. We don't have a superstar, all things that go along with that. So who is they want to see the Knicks versus Celtics? Nobody wants to see Knicks versus Celtics. If anything, everybody wants the Celtics to win the championship the way they keep talking about how good that team is, the star power and stuff like that. So that's what it's all about, man. So there's another segment that I wanted to show also. I'll just talk about it. This is also on ESPN. They were talking about Wembanyama. You know how Wembanyama is going to be the next guy, and how long does he have to wait in order for him for San Antonio to build a team around him? And one of the ladies, the anchor there said 1 year. I mean, he's a rookie. He's on a rookie scale deal. He has until the team could get a team together. It could be next year, it could be year after, but they're gonna be building, man. So I can't remember the player, but it was a former San Antonio Spurs player there that was trying to speak reason that it's gonna take time to build a team around this guy. You know what I'm saying? But they're saying though he's not gonna wait. He's a competitor. He's not gonna wait. So I mean, they got these superstars so far up their ass. It's unbelievable, man. So I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of it. And if you look at the history, I'm going to get to some history with the Knicks now. That when you get into the Knicks history, the Knicks have never had that outside of Patrick Ewing. We never had the luxury of just to have like 2 or 3 superstars sitting on a roster with a bunch of bums where we're just relying on superstars to do everything. You know what I'm saying? All the superstars, like 2 or 3. And, that's the MO. Ever since LeBron came around, with the 3 superstars, they always got to have multiple superstars on the squad in order for it to make it happen. Durant did it also. Like the Celtics themselves, they got like 5 guys that can get you 20 points per game. You know what I'm saying? If they all were on their individual team, they all would be averaging 20 points. So it's kind of frustrating a little bit following the Knicks trying to enjoy the game of basketball when this is the narrative and this is what national media and this is the only thing that anybody ever wants to talk about. Superstars. So let me get out of the share here. And let me share some of these bullet points here. So I'm an older Knicks fan. People like to like to call us OGs to shut us up. Like we don't know what we're talking about. Oh, the Knicks, Wilt Chamberlain played against plumbers. Who did the 80s? That was in 1900s, and the 90s. People keep talking about the 90s and whatever. But we don't know your history. Somebody said that. Somebody that I actually like said that. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. The people, the older Knicks fans that love the 90s. They don't know their history. But we know the 90s, so how we don't know our history? I just don't understand. So let's get into this, man. 1979, 1980. That happened to be in the season when I was born. I was born in July, so I was born right smack in the middle of this here. So 1979, it just so happened to be a bad season. 39 win team. Some familiar names here. Eddie Donovan as an executive. I know people have heard that if you're a Knicks fan, if you know your history, right? Shout out to Red Holzman. Red Holzman is one of the winningest coaches in in Knicks history. Is the winningest coach in Knicks history with over 600 wins. He had a losing season there, 39 wins and stuff. So just to scroll down is to see what's going on here. Um, they actually had four guys that they were giving you just about 20 points per game that year, and they had a losing record. So we're talking about guys like Bill Cartwright. You had Bill Cartwright. You had Michael Ray Richardson. You had somebody named Toby White. It's gonna be Toby Knight. Excuse me. Toby Knight was a young guy that was playing well for them. He averaged 19 points per game. The history with Toby Knight is that he ended up having a horrific knee injury, if I'm not mistaken. It was a knee or hip injury, and he never came back. Just some modern technology wasn't up to par yet to get him to recover for something like that. So he had a freak injury, and he never came back. This is how the league was. If once you hurt yourself like that, you were basically done. So I'm just looking at if you guys can see the screen here. Bill Cartwright averaged 21. Michael Ray Richardson, he didn't average 20, he averaged 15. But we had Toby Knight with 19, and Ray Williams also had 20 points. Some of the other guys here are just like Earl Monroe was still on the squad. So this is one of Earl Monroe's last year, if not his last year. A couple other rookie guys, just Sly Williams, Marvin Webster, some guys that went on to play well with the Knicks there. So this is my foundation when I first came into contact with the Knicks, which is the birth. I was born into being a Knicks fan. So I'm just giving you an idea of what was happening at the time. Red Holzman winning his coach and stuff like that. So this is fast forward to the next season. This is actually a 52 win season. So just a scroll here so you can see it. We actually won 50 wins this year in the 1980-81 season. So I'm just bringing this up because 50 wins. People in this generation keeps talking about that Melo team that won 52 games. It really was not that great of a team, to tell you the truth. That Melo team. It was fun to watch. People say, "Oh, how are you going to say that's not a good team?" Yeah, but people like to say this team wasn't good. This team. It was a losing season before that, and then we jumped and won 52. Some people say that's impossible for a team to go from losing to winning 50 in the next year, but the Knicks did it here. They did it in 1980, 80, 81. So a little bit of history and stuff like that. Red Holzman was still the coach, 50-win team, still winning without the championship guys, without Clyde and those guys. Like I said, Earl the Pearl was already old at this point. Michael Ray Richardson now is out there, 16 points per game, 7 assists. Campy Russell's out there with 16. Bill Cartwright had 20. Ray Williams had 19. So Ray Williams was a rookie of the year before. No, not a rookie. He was no, he averaged 20 the year before also. So 19.7. And then Sly Williams, like I said, Sly Williams was the person I was thinking about. He was a rookie the year before, and he came on to show some stuff here. So 50-win team here. So just imagine, so people that think about that 50-win team with Melo, how great that team was. Oh my God, that team was so much fun to watch. Could you imagine people that remember this season vividly and their focus and their thought process about this team? Oh man, that team was fun to watch and XYZ. So it just shows how time passes and stuff like that. So just to look at this is some of the history here. Let's look at some of these pictures here. This is some, like I said, some names that you might know. You got Bill Cartwright in the middle. Ray Richardson on the right hand side, looking like he's drugged up. Yeah, but that's like the 80s. I'm not here to bash Ray Richardson, but that was just how it was. And if you see number 44, you recognize that's Mike Woodson. So Mike Woodson's there on the left hand side. So the Knicks actually drafted Mike Woodson way back when. He never went on to do anything for the Knicks. Knicks ended up getting rid of him, and he ended up playing well for the Atlanta Hawks. But I mean, I'm showing you how things play out. we might draft somebody that might go on to play well on another team. So that's a sleeper right there. People always ask like, oh, they always trade in rookies and they play better on another team. Mike Woodson is one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So Mike Woodson went on to Atlanta and he played well for those teams. But look, Reds Holtman was still the coach, and it was interesting, man. So I'm quite sure a lot of older fans remember this. Bill Cartwright led us in scoring, he led us in rebounding, and of course, Michael Ray Richardson was basically Magic Johnson on the East at the time. He was averaging, I think like 10 assists the year before, 7 assists this year, 7 rebounds. He was basically ahead of his time, Michael Ray Richardson. So fast forward a little bit, man. So this is the beginning of my Knicks fandom and stuff. Just fast forward, we could take it all the way up to now. I'm 8, or basically 10. I'm 10 years old now, about to be 10 years old, or 9 years old. So this is the another 50 point. It's gonna be 50 win season here with the Knicks, 52 wins. The coach for this team was Rick Pitino. So we all know who this squad is here. This squad is the Bomb Squad guys. So shout out to Nobody Beats the Wiz. That's a relic also. That's an old store that used to be in New York City called Nobody Beats the Wiz. They sold electronics and music and stuff like that. And they always sponsored the Knicks. They were basically, I don't know if they were an official sponsor for the Knicks, but I know if you wanted to get Knicks posters and stuff like that, they always had something Knicks related, and Nobody Beats the Wiz. So I used to love to go there just so I could try to pick up a keychain or something like that. They always had something going on with Nobody Beats the Wiz on it and the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So just a little look at this picture. You got Johnny Newman. That's somebody that I always mention here as a reference. Johnny Newman back in the days was basically R.J. Barrett. He was a young guy coming into the league there, averaging 16 points. I think he topped on as a Knick. So a lot of young fans expected him to be the next guy, the guy to play with Ewing, to average 20 points per game. Also, of course, you got Mark Jackson there right next to him. You got Gerald Wilkins, who also averaged 19 points per game for the Knicks one year. You got Trent Tucker as one of the best 3-point shooters of his era, and then of course Rod Strickland was a rookie there. So this is another great team that I remember. I remember this team because, like I said, I was 9, whatever, during that time. I was 9 years old, so I remember this team, man. So I remember so much that I remember crying my eyes off the following year because we ended up trading Rod Strickland. And then the Knicks didn't match that 50 win season, and it took a while before we were able to actually we still stayed like with a winning record, but for us to get that next team, it took a couple years for us to build that next big time team there, man. But this was a big team here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people forget about it. But like I said, everybody keeps talking about that damn Melo team. You know what I'm saying? And that this team here, oh, this is one of the best teams I've ever seen. No, but this is the history, man. This also was like an iconic team here. So if I can get this into some stats here, like I said, Johnny Newman that year, did he average 16 that year? He averaged 16 that year. Mark Jackson, he averaged 16.9. I believe, was he the rookie of the year? No, that wasn't his rookie of the year game. That was the year 2. Oakley was averaging a double-double, 12 and 10. You got Gerald Wilkins with 14 that year. Johnny Newman, like I said, 16. Mark Jackson also has 16.9. Ewing was still coming into his own. He wasn't really super scoring Patrick Ewing yet, but he still was giving you 22 per game, 9 rebounds, 3.5 blocks. 3.5 blocks, my goodness. You know what I'm saying? So this is an iconic team here. But just thinking about this, like could you imagine like younger fans, like I said, they wanted Johnny Newman to be that guy, but the Knicks didn't keep Johnny Newman. Gerald Wilkins averaged 14. Like I said, he averaged 19 once as a Knick, but the Knicks did not retain him either. You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson, he was the rookie of the year, came in the second year, averaged 16 and 8. He was not retained. So how the hell did we get to 1994? So that's the year that I want to get to. 1994. How did we get to 94 with this iconic roster here? That went to the NBA Finals. How did we get to the NBA Finals when we basically eliminated the whole starting lineup except Patrick Ewing and Oakley? Basically the whole bench too. The whole bench. Nobody here except Ewing and Oakley made it to that 94 team. So how the hell did we get there? You know what I'm saying? How the hell did we get to that point? That year we won 57 games when we went to the finals, guys. So scrolling down, taking a look at some of the stats here. Patrick Ewing was already Patrick Ewing now. At this point, he's giving you 25, stuff like that. He averaged 24.5. You got Oakley with 11 and 11, still a double-double. John Starks was the new guy now. John Starks wasn't even on that 88 team. John Starks came on maybe 2 years later. When he was coming off the bench for the Knicks. He was bagging groceries at this point here. He played for Golden State, and he's bagging groceries at this point. I'm talking about in '88. You know what I'm saying? So now here, fast forward, now we got this guy named John Starks here that's averaging 19 points per game. Doc Rivers is actually our point guard. He ended up getting hurt, season-ending injury, and that's how we ended up getting Derek Harper, which was an incredible trade there. I see Anthony Mason, guys like Charles Smith, and different players like that. Hubert Davis is on this list here, and these are the guys that we ended up going to the finals with. No Johnny Newman, no Rod Strickland, no Mark Jackson, no young guys. We're talking about play the kids. The Knicks said, fuck the kids. They ended up making trades and gotten other guys in there, and we ended up getting to the finals. So my thing is, like, there's so many different narratives today that kind of parallel some of the narratives that would happen before. In 1988, people were like, yo, the Knicks are coming up. We got a nice young squad. They're going to grow together. Fast forward to 1994, which is only like 6 years later that group was together. 5 years later, after that group was broken up, they go to the finals. You know what I'm saying? So, the narratives and the fighting, the infighting and stuff that people have on and offline, it doesn't make sense, because if you know your history, this already happened before. This already happened before, and the Knicks already persevered through this once, and we made it all the way to the NBA Finals. Now, if we weren't hurt, because Ewing was hurt, we were shorthanded a little bit. John Starks, Pat Riley might have been to blame for a lot of different things too. But we might have been shorthanded too, because they had a little bit more offensive firepower than we did. But we could have won the finals that year. It was right there. We actually could have won. And I think I can't remember the history right now, but we were like at the cusp of winning that championship, but the Houston Rockets were able to take it from us. So that was 1994. So stick with me, guys. So this is I just want to say what's up to the chat here. So for people that come in through the replay, this is a history lesson here. So we got 19 Con Man here. We got I Am Jarrell. We got Mr. Generation Jail. What's good? Tough Love in the place. What's good? Tough Love. Bobby Santiago. Who's this? Who said the thing is hype? Tough Love loves the theme song. A lot of people do. A lot of people have been asking how can I stream it, because they want to play it on like Spotify and stuff like that. I got to talk to Trav B. Ryan and see if he'll do that. Put the track on Spotify. We got Chris Rowe here. Shot Powers in the place. Was good. Shot. Kareem was good. Kareem Jackal, Bricks Nation here. He said he believed most fan bases would rather see the Knicks in the finals more than Boston. Say most fan bases. I'm not really too sure about that. For now, maybe older fan bases, but younger people, they don't know the Knicks. They don't know this history that I'm talking about here. Knicks Nation 112 was good, man. Yeah, man. So Knicks Live too. This is my man Julian Bloom here, hiding here with the Knicks Live stuff. I saw he just posted something. Replay. I hope the replay kicks ass, man. Because I gotta redo the thumbnail and stuff. But let's get back into action here. So I was talking about 1994, right? So let's fast forward to just a couple years later, 1994 to 1999. That's 5 years. Another 5 years later, the Knicks ended up in the finals again. So this is Spreewell. This is an iconic picture with Spreewell. And I had this T-shirt here. Did you see there? I had that T-shirt. Not in stores, but in one of my bins. But the T-shirt ended up getting molded up and stuff like that. And I couldn't keep it anymore because it was molding and it was contaminating other things and it was stinking, actually, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I had that T-shirt and I tried to keep it as long as I could. Somebody stole. I had two of them. Somebody stole the other one. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, if I could have that hat too, that would be amazing. But yeah, this was it, man. When we made it to the finals, that's the Eastern Conference Championship shirt. It was, super. It was a super time, man. So this is the 90s, 90, 94, 95. This is why 94 season and 99 season. This is why we talk about it so much, because we went to the finals twice in the 90s. We had some really good teams. But just to bring it back to what I'm trying to say here, from the 1994 team, when we had Charles Oakley, Starks, Doc Rivers, Mason, Charles Smith, Derek Harper, Hubert Davis, Anthony Bonner. Just go down the line to your favorite Knick that year. Fast forward to 99. None of those motherfuckers on the team except Ewing. Ewing's the only player from that team 5 years before that we went to the finals. They went to the finals again. So let me just throw. I mean, you guys know the names. Allen Houston. Ewing right now is 36, man. So he's definitely getting down in age, up in age there. Larry Johnson. You got Latrell Sprewell, Charlie Ward, Chris Childs, Kurt Thomas, Marcus Camby, Chris Deli, Dennis Scott was on that squad. Herb Williams and Rick Brunson. Shout out to Jalen Brunson's dad. So this was a squad. None of these guys were on the '94 championship team except Ewing. Ewing is the only person that was on that '94 team. You know what I'm saying? So how many people did we fight for in that '94 team? John Starks is one of them. John Starks was traded for Sprewell. We got Sprewell because we traded John Starks. How did we get Marcus Camby? We traded Charles Oakley. We had to get up off of the guys that we had, the beloved Knicks, in order to get to the next level. And now here, there's another crew full of beloved Knicks. We traded Larry Johnson for Anthony Mason, for Christ's sake. So many different trades that we made here. We got off of Derek Harper. Derek Harper, went on to retire, went to the Lakers, and then he retired. But we ended up getting Charlie Ward and Chris Childs, to be the next point guards. But I mean, look at the history there. How things change, and like there's always another way. Like every single team that we've seen, they all played a different style. Had different iconic coaches. We're talking about Pat Riley for this team. For the 94 team, Jeff Van Gundy for this 99 team, Red Holzman for that 1980 team, and then the other one was Rick Pitino, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? So this is the history of the Knicks. That we need to remember now. That metal team that people keep referencing. How many people are in this squad from then? I know that was a long time ago, but look how much has changed since then. The culture, the coaches, the bad play that we had during that time period. How much things have changed to lead us up into this point that we are now. So yeah, man, this was just an amazing thing. Like, people still love. I mean, Sprewell, Larry Johnson. You want to talk about the only people that don't want to go back to the Garden is Chris Childs and Charles Oakley. Everybody else keeps coming back. And Sprewell used to curse out Dolan on the court. And somehow Sprewell is there every night. If you want to see Sprewell, you can run into Sprewell every single night watching these Knicks, when you go to the Garden and stuff, man. So let's fast forward here. This is a lot of history. Like I said, I mentioned that 54 win team there with Melo. A lot of losing seasons here. Last year we won 47. We got very close to that mark there for 50. This year we're actually ahead of the game here, so we could possibly hit that 50 win mark, even though we've been losing with the shorthanded Knicks now. So let's get into it, man. This is the shorthanded Knicks. So we got one thing I want to point out also too, just for reference here. Look at the minutes played. Look at the minutes played by these teams here. Bill Cartwright back in the days averaged 38. Michael Ray Richardson averaged 37. Toby Knight averaged 36. So because he averaged 36, is that the reason why he blew his knee out? That would be the narrative today, right? Shout out to the next year. Michael Ray Richardson played 40. Campy Russell was a new player that year. He averaged 36. Bill Cartwright 35. So a lot of big minutes being played by these guys, man. Fast forward to the next year, that bomb squad team was definitely spread out. Ewing averaged 36, which is a lot. People complain about people averaging 36 minutes in nowadays. That 94 team, let's get into that real quick. Minutes played. As you can see, Ewing was getting up to 37 minutes per game. Charles Oakley with 35, Starks with 34. Let's look at 99 real quick before we move on. Houston was averaging 36 minutes per. Old ass Ewing was still giving you 34. We had a more of a spread out team that year, though. So I mean, it's just interesting to look back like that. But like I said, let's look into this year. You got guys like Anunoby. Anunoby's averaging 35. You got Ewing, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. RJ Barrett's not with us anymore. We ended up trading him. Look at that. RJ Barrett was supposed to have been the chosen one, right? RJ Barrett's not on the squad anymore. Mitchell Robinson is another chosen one, but he's been hurt all year. Precious Achie was a new player. Dante DiVincenzo. You got Bojan Bogdanovic. Who would have known that he would be a Knick at any point of his career? Hartenstein here. Shout out to Emmanuel Quickly. He was supposed to have been the chosen one too. One of the young kids that we shouldn't trade away. We ended up trading him. Now we actually are a better team. Quentin Grimes is another one. We ended up trading, getting rid of him. And I think we've gotten better because of it. Alec Burks is on the roster. We got McBride, Sims. Evan Fournier was supposed to have been a big part. We paid him $18 million to be a big part of this, but he didn't make the cut. Not everybody's going to make it to the promised line. That's the whole point of this whole chat here. If I could scroll down here, I'm just trying to see who else is a part of the mix here. So that the rest of the guys are just bottom of the bench fodder. But I'm just going to show you these guys here. So this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys. 12 guys that has helped this team win this year. 12. You know what I'm saying? How do we chop this into 8? How do we chop it into 9? Take 12 guys, take 4 guys off to get it to 8. You know what I'm saying? Or chop off 3 to get it to 9. How do we do this? Mitchell Robinson's got to play, but if you're going to carry another big, Precious has got to play too. And then you can't bump out Bogdanovich. He's got to play. What do you do about that? Josh Hart is going to be bumped to the bench. He's got to play. What do you do about Miles McBride? Because he's got to play too. So what are you going to do here? I don't know what the Knicks have planned, as far as that is concerned, but I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get through that. So this is the squad basically, man. You can see our Hartenstein right now is the starting center. You got Julius Randle is the starting power forward once he's healthy. OG's the starting small forward once he's healthy. We got DiVincenzo and Brunson in the backcourt. Brunson is our superstar. He is legit a superstar now. You can't hide. Julius is the number 2. OG and the rest of the guys, they're basically all number 3s. Off the bench there, Mitchell Robinson hasn't played all year, but he's gonna have to play as soon as he's healthy. He's a force. Precious has proven to be somewhat of a force. As a starter, he's definitely going to be needed coming off the bench. Bogdanovich is averaging 20 points off the bench basically for the Knicks. Josh Hart, extreme glue guy, man. Shout out to Knicks Morning Brew, that Morning Brew Sports Crew. They have a new some new merch there with the glue guy stuff on there. But Josh Hart is the ultimate glue guy coming off the bench. Alec Burks might be one of the odd men out, but you got Miles McBride here too. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do here with the squad? How good is the squad? Is this one of these squads that can make it to the finals? I think the squad could make it to the finals. Fast forward to next year, or maybe even the year after. A lot of these guys might not be on the roster, and they probably won't. And there'll be another group of guys here that we could possibly say, this was our finals team, or this was our 50-point win squad. What can we do with that? So just to bring it back to some of these names here. DiVincenzo. Who was DiVincenzo last year? If we can go back to these stats here, I'll click DiVincenzo just to see what he was doing last year. DiVincenzo the year before. Give me a second here. DiVincenzo the year before, he was averaging 9 points per game on Golden State, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, decent shooting across the board. Not as good as this year though. Averaging 26 minutes per game on a team that wasn't necessarily that good. You know what I'm saying? But 9.4, so he goes from 9.4 to 14.3. But if you count the recent play from 2024, he's averaging 16, 17 points per game, just about. The last couple games been averaging 20, 22 points per game. You know what I'm saying? So this is what DiVincenzo, he's never done that before. Look at his other stats throughout his career. He did hit 10 once. He did hit 10 twice, actually. 7, 9. A couple of things like that. But that Milwaukee team he went to the finals with, he didn't even play in the playoffs. So this is the type of player that he was at the time. So how did the Knicks turn that a guy like that you can see the field goal percentage, 35%, 33% in his career. So he turned into this bona fide NBA starter for us. So that's just putting the little things into perspective there. Let's scroll back to some of these other players. Let's see. Josh Hart is another guy. Josh Hart's a decent player though, but he's been traded a million times. Somebody that's been traded a whole bunch of times in his career. As you can see, it looks like he has a lot of stats from different teams. This is just him being traded. The last what is this? The last 6 years, been traded a few times. Double figure scorer. Sometimes, as you can see, you see a lot of 7s. You see 9s. You see 14s, 13s. You even see 19 the year when he was in Portland. But they were a losing team then. You know what I'm saying? So now we turned that into he's always been that glue guy. So I mean, that's what he's doing for us now too. So, he's the one consistent player, throughout his career. It hasn't really given us more than he's ever done, but he's just a supreme glue guy. Let's scroll down to see who else we can find here. Precious Achiuwa. That's one player we can go to. He does have decent stats though. Let me take a look at Precious. He does have decent stats, but we're talking about a team that wasn't really playing well on the last couple of years with Toronto. He was with Miami, he averaged 5. Toronto 9, 9, 8, 7. This year he's averaging 8, but as a starter, he's been incredible, almost a double-double. As a starter. The stats across the board, 54% from the field with the major minutes that he's getting right now. 7 rebounds is a career high for him. 1.2 blocks is definitely a career high. He's never gotten close to that. And as far as minutes is concerned, as a Nick, he's averaging 26 minutes per game. So he's never had this usage. So basically, he was a nobody last year. Up until this point, he was as a guy that had potential, and he made it to the Knicks and finally did that. Here goes another guy that's playing major minutes for the Knicks, Hartenstein. If we could look at what Hartenstein did in his career there, Hartenstein hasn't been around too long. He's only 25. He came into the league when he was 20. If you can look at some of his stats, you got a 1.9 there, you got a 5, you got a 4, 3 points per game. You know what I'm saying? This year he's averaging 6.9. But these stats get inflated when you look at his stats as a starter. So he gets a little bit more than what it shows here. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, these guys are nobody, basically a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of expendables, people that nobody was thinking about the year before. These are the players that the Knicks have now that are basically leading us right now. We're basically playing some of the best ball that we played in a long time, and we're shorthanded. So even though we lose, if like we lost the last game, but we play so hard and stuff like that, you can't even get upset. But there are people that are upset, which I don't understand, because I mean we're missing 3 starters now, 4. So how could you complain if we're missing OG, Julius, Jalen, and Mitchell Robinson? So if I could show these roles real quick, we're missing a guy that averaged 10 rebounds per game, 1.3 blocks and 1.5 steals, quote unquote the best offensive rebound in the NBA with 5 per game. Jalen Brunson, 27 points per game, first time All-Star, possibly MVP candidate. We missed him the last couple games. Julius Randle, 24 points per game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? A threat to shoot the 3 and stuff like that. Running offense, facilitating, and things of that nature. All-Star, all NBA player. We're missing him too. And then OG Anunoby, he averaged 15 points per game for the Knicks, 4 rebounds, 1.5 steals, which is incredible. And excuse me, 1.8 steals, which is incredible. And also 1 block per game. He's basically the best defensive small forward in the entire NBA. So this is the caliber of player that we're missing right now. 4 guys. So I don't know how anybody out there, as far as the Knicks universe, could possibly complain about this particular squad, especially here. This guy Paul Pierce. So I forgot what's the name of the guy. I'm not good with remembering names or anything at this point in my life. But Paul Pierce, he said stop showing the videos of Paul Pierce because you're giving him screen time and stuff like that. Because Paul Pierce is basically irrelevant. He almost kicked himself off the TV when he did that stripper thing when he is live on his Instagram. You know what I'm saying. So that's why he got fired by ESPN and stuff like that. So I mean, this guy's a jackass, man. But how could he say stuff like the Knicks are an Instagram model when we're basically missing all of our models, all of our big time quote unquote models, if you want to say, all missing. And we're still showing up every single night, playing extremely hard and stuff like this. Tom Thibodeau is a coach that he has a lot of just notoriety, and he does have some accolades too. But he's not the perfect coach. There's a lot of slander with him within the fan base and stuff. But he's been coaching his ass off. The overall identity of the Knicks comes from Tom Thibodeau. He set the people like to talk about culture, but he did set the table for the Knicks to be who they are now. You know what I'm saying? And that is the Knicks culture and the way that we play. No matter who's out there, we play extremely hard. The team is playing and matching the city right now. There's a lot of Knicks content creators doing a lot of work out there. There's a lot of regular fans doing a lot of work out there, just supporting these podcasts out there, buying the merch out there, just living the life as a Knicks fan, working extremely hard in New York City. People have to work doubles in order to survive, to take care of their families and stuff like that. People got to work doubles or 2 jobs just to make their dreams happen for themselves here in New York. That's just how it is. Look at the migrants. They just busted some migrants that were actually living in a clothing store. From what I remember, I think it was like 30 beds on the first floor and 10 beds in the basement. You know what I'm saying? So this is what people do, just live here. And I'm quite sure some of those guys that were living like that, or some of those people that were living like that, I'm quite sure that some of them were Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? Fell in love with the team because this is who the city that they chose, to come to America and stuff like that. So they're building like little eggs as far as Knicks fandom is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you have to do to survive in the city. So I'm making a contrast because this current Knicks squad matches what's happening out there in these New York City streets right now. So this is the first time it's happened in a long time. So I'm bringing it. It started from 1979, 80, and bringing it full circles to 2024. The one constant that remains is us. We're here. We witnessed. Most of us older fans, we've witnessed it all. Young fans, they witness some things, but they standing on that high horse as far as social media and stuff like that. Ignorant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that people that come on to this on the replay game will see what's happening. See what I'm talking about here. Maybe dig into some of these different teams and learn about certain players and learn the history and how this person got traded here, how they got traded there, and just understand how these things go. How the next NBA Finals team, next 50-win team could get built here. You know what I'm saying? So people don't learn the lesson. We just got rid of RJ and IQ, and then look at where we are right now. You know what I'm saying? So things can happen really quick in the realm of sports, and how quickly people forget. Just with mid season, people forgot what's happened already. So it is what it is, man. So this is my little coming in hot podcast here. Talking about the history of the Knicks, which pertains to what's happening now. Because like I said, that 79-80 season has is very similar. Excuse me, the 80-81 season is very similar to what's happening now. As far as old school coach, winning his coach and just building with youth and stuff like that. 94, it's gonna be 80. I talked about 80, it's gonna be 88, 89, talking about 94 and the 99 team. You know what I'm trying to say? So I mean, there's a lot of history with the Knicks here. You know, this is Red Holzman and his team back in 1980. Here goes the Bomb Squad, 88, 89. Here goes the 94 team. Here goes the 99 team. So what can these teams do now? Is it going to be 2024? Is it going to be 2025? We'll have to see, man. So, I definitely appreciate you guys for listening. I'm trying not to make it too long-winded and stuff like that, but definitely appreciate you guys from coming in here. This is your boy Ebru. I see some super chat. I see a super chat here, so let me just make sure I get to that. Yeah, this is my uncle here. Shout out to my uncle hanging out here from Mount Vernon, no doubt. Mike K dropped a $5 joint there. He says, if you watch a video of the Knicks Pistons game in 1992, you'll see all the fans waving these white towels. I still got your towels. See, older fans, man. Like I said, a lot of younger fans like to disregard the older fans. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of history to bring up. And my challenge to the older fans is not to succumb to the arguments that these young guys pull you into. A lot of these young guys, they like to bait you into arguments to make themselves seem right. You know what I'm saying? But they can't be right about something if they never experienced anything. You know what I'm saying? So you have a plethora of memories. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I go back as far as the 88 team. You know what I'm saying? I know that team like the back of my hand, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit older, like my uncle there, my uncle here. You know, he can go back as far a little bit further than me, probably like about 10 years before that. So he probably remembers that 88, the 1980 team. He probably remembers the teams before that. He might even remember the championship teams. I'm not even sure. I don't think he was alive then, though. I'm not too sure. I don't want to age the guys there, but a lot of people remember remember the history. But they forget the history when they arguing with these young guys or when they're on the internet. They say stuff and they forget all the stuff that they know and that they experienced. Shout out to State. Shay says, "Where's the link, man?" So I mean, this is one of those hot pods, man. I literally just got out my car, sat at my computer, and just jumped on. And this is a complete freestyle. I literally set this up in 15 minutes. Once I got in the crib, set it up in 15 minutes, and then bam, I'm online talking Knicks, man. So I love the Knicks, as you guys know. This is Die Hard Knicks podcast. So this is what diehard Knicks fans do. If you were mistaken, Die Hard Knicks fans like me are freaking crazy. 15 minutes setting up a pod like this while I'm driving, doing the thumbnail, trying to get the thumbnail together while I'm driving. It's amazing stuff here, man. So I really love the Knicks. So this shows you right here that the Knicks have a rich history that should be celebrated, that should be remembered, looked back upon, and seeing what's happening and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. So let me just keep scrolling, make sure I get everybody here before we get out of here. So we got TJ Hana Blue there. Looking to see if you look familiar, but I see your avatar. I appreciate people that put avatars. My uncle got a nice little avatar there. You know what I'm saying? You got to show people who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm, talking stuff like that. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you're coming on here late, please watch the replay so you can see the point I'm trying to make here with this Knicks squad, man. So without further ado, it's your boy Eru. Let me pop this up here. Let's do 4 fingers to that forehead, tucking the thumb salute. That's what you do when you see a Die Hard. This is Die Hard Knicks podcast. Thanks again for tuning in. Knicks, when the Knicks play again? Let's get the Knicks schedule here before we get up out of here. Knicks schedule. So I think the Knicks have 2 days off. They're off today. They're off tomorrow. So I think the next game is against Orlando on the 8th. We will be in the Garden for March 10th there. So check out Nothing But Knicks, NBK.com. Go to NBKFam.com, NBKFam.com, and there's a link there for tickets for this March 10th game. If you would like to go to that game, we'll be getting together for that game. We'll be sitting, I think, in section 220, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure exactly, but we definitely in the 200s. I'm going to take up a whole row, 2 rows, I think, there for this March 10th game. So if you're interested, please go to nbkfam.com and check out that link, and you'll be able to join us for that game. Like I said, Magic on the 8th, and then the 76 is coming up, man. So what can the Knicks do? Are we going to get some reinforcements back? We have to see. But yeah, man, be proud of your Knicks fandom, man. Just remember, don't let people bait you into arguments if you know the history, and if you don't know the history, now you do. So anyway, it's your boy Eru. I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the outro. Clap them cheeks if you wish.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gon' murder that.